Now, our main focus point today is about Coast Fire. Coast Fire, and this is a wrinkle on the very popular FIRE concept, which is financial independence, retire early. And Coast Fire is a bit different, and frankly, I think it's far more achievable for most people. Now, Coast Fire is where you make life choices that save a large amount of money so you can retire before your 60s. But you do it in a way where you don't just quit working, you scale back your hours. You scale back, maybe you change careers into something that's less lucrative, something you want to do, something that's more flexible, or just simply less hours. Whatever that means to you. Okay? So you still minimize your spending, you invest as much as possible, very similar to FIRE, and you reach your target of savings that lets you coast towards an eventual retirement in your 60s. So instead of, hey, I'm going to limit my spending, invest a ton in my 20s and 30s and maybe in my 40s, and then at maybe 50, I retire and I'm done working. And that's the FIRE concept, right? Retire early. Early could mean a lot of different things. But Coast Fire is basically saying, I'm going to have some similar concepts in my life, financially, to limit spending and save a lot. But my goal isn't to stop working. It's to do something a bit different. Or scale back hours, like I said. Now, why this is more achievable? Well, because when your goal is just to cover your day-to-day expenses, which is kind of the Coast Fire goal, which is, okay, at what point can I scale back? I no longer need to save more, for example, right? I don't need to save. I might save 30, 40% of my income up until I hit my goal, and then I'm just covering my expenses, and the rest is just going to grow, right? So you might save a ton, and then at 40 or 45, you might say, I'm going to go from full-time to part-time, but I have enough money to where I invest it over the next decade or two, when I hit 60 or 65, I can combine that with Social Security or some other pension that I might be qualified for, and I will have enough money to really retire. But there's this area where I'm coasting, this 15 to 20, maybe 25 years where I'm not working that hard anymore. I did that. I saved a ton. I sacrificed. Now, I'm working a part-time job. Maybe I'm a barista at Starbucks or whatever, doing something that you want to do more than what you're doing now. And that's really the Coast Fire concept. And that's why I like it. Another reason why it can be helpful too and more realistic, is that period where you go from, you work part-time, you can still get health insurance at certain jobs. You might even still have some sort of 401k you can get an employer match on, etc. And you still are in contact with society. I think that's the biggest aspect the FIRE people miss, is that when you retire, you don't have that constant, almost forced interaction with the rest of the world. And that, in many ways, can be unhealthy, both physically and mentally. And so this concept, which means that your target will be lower than the standard FIRE, right, of how much you need to save. This is something that keeps you busy during those coast years and allows you to expand, have more time to expand on those relationships, right? Explore those relationships, do things with the people that you interact with and friends you make, and the family that you have as well. Now, what is that bridge to the future? That's really what this is trying to figure out. Okay, what is that dollar amount I need? And where are the events that I need to get to in order to bridge myself to that ultimate retirement. Now, the first might be just that savings target, like I said, but it also might be a pension that you're eligible for. It also might be kids leaving the house, right? I need to work, save, carry this, I don't want to say burden, but carry this other person, human being on my payroll, get them off, and then I can use that money, save a little bit more, and get to that point where I can just coast. I can scale back my working hours and make less money, and that's fine because I have saved enough. And it might also be when you pay off that mortgage, right? You put extra towards your mortgage. A lot of people right now, we have clients that are doing this, putting it in treasuries. Their mortgage rate's at 2%, but they're putting money towards this treasury account, earning 4%, earning a gap between their interest accrual on their mortgage and their cash. And then once cash goes down, cash yields go down below that mortgage rate, then they take that cash and they pay it off. A lot of people are doing that as well. So these are goals that you can put in place to hit in order to hit that coast portion of the coast fire, which this is something, if you need a financial advisor, it might be helpful to lay this all out. This is what we do for clients beyond just the investment side and getting that dialed in. It's about getting the financial plan dialed in. And we have clients that pretty much are on the path for coast fire. And I think it's a great concept that a lot of people should follow.